Hello, my name is Tom Dyson, and this is a brief introduction to the Django web application framework. I start by using Django's command line tool to create a project for my new content management system. For the purposes of this demonstration, I'll use the convenient SQLite database engine. In a production setting, you'll probably switch to Postgres or MySQL. Now I set the Django settings module environment variable, so I don't have to type this in every time that I use Django admin.py. And I run init to create Django's core database tables. I'll switch briefly into SQLite to check that the database and the new tables have all been created as expected. The next step is to create the first application within the CMS project that I just set up. I'm going to call it Plectrum. Django has generated the package structure, and I can go straight in to start defining the models for my new application. My CMS is going to have simple articles which are located within sections. I'll define sections first because they're very straightforward. I know I want Django's automatically generated admin interface to handle my sections, so I include this in a meta class with a single admin attribute whose value is the admin method inherited from the core meta object. I also want to supply a representation for my section objects, which helps the administration interface label them properly and is good Python programming practice. The section itself has a single attribute, name, which is a character field. Next up is the article model. I also want to include this in the administration interface. The representation of an article object will be its title. Articles have a title, and a publication date. Of course, they are assigned to a section, and they have a body. I'll save my new models and register them in my project. Lastly, I install them into the database. Now they're installed, I can try out creating, editing and saving my objects in Python's interactive prompt. I'll import the modules, which are named in the plural forms of my models, and I'll make a new section with the name News. Now a new article with the traditional title assigned to the section I just created, with the date set to now. I'll save it to the database, and to prove it's worked, I'll pull it out again. Here are all the articles. There's only one. There's the article itself, and there's the date of the article. Now we're going to turn on the automatic administration interface for this project. The last step here is to uncomment the pattern which correctly dispatches requests for /admin. I'll create a super user with my name, email address and a low security password, and start up the built-in development web server. I log in using the super user account that I just set up, and here's where I can start modifying the objects specified in my application. I'll edit articles first, choosing the one I created in the interactive shell earlier. See how Django gives me appropriate interface elements for each attribute of my object. Now a new section, I'll call it About. Every action in this interface is logged so we can see the history of each object. There are lots of customizations we can make to this default listing of articles, which are managed through modifications to the inner class of the article object. I'm going to specify which attributes get listed for each article, which attributes can be used to filter articles, and which attributes we can perform a full text search on. We'll refresh the admin interface, and immediately we see the new columns at the top of the article listing. On the right we can filter articles by publication dates relative to today, and at the top we can perform full text searches on the article title. For my last step, I want to create a basic front end for the new content management system. I'll make a new directory for templates, and I'll tell Django where to find it. Now, in urls.py, I configure how requests get routed to the view layer. Django provides a lot of flexibility here, but it also makes it easy to dispatch requests to standard types of web application screens, or what it describes as generic views. Two very common screens are listings of items and details about a particular item, and we're going to use the generic views Django provides for those cases here. I set up two new patterns. This first one maps requests for /articles to a listing of all articles, and the second maps /articles/ some integer to a page with details for the article which has that integer for its ID. Finally, I need to create the new templates which will deliver these requests. I'll do the listing first. Django's built-in template language uses double curly brackets to identify variables, and dot notation to access variable attributes. So here I'm looping over all the available articles and outputting a link to each one in the address format that we know is going to be correctly dispatched to the details page. Now the details page. I pull out the title of the specified article, and underneath it, the body. Start up the development server again, go to /articles, and here we go. Click on the link to the details page. It's pretty basic, but in another 10 minutes you'll have it looking lovely. Thanks for watching. I hope it's been helpful. For more on Django, check out the excellent website at djangoproject.com.